Just begin to connect with your breath. Just taking this moment, scanning the physical body with respect and tuning in to the quality of your breath. When you inhale, I'm not going to set an intention of that because you'll know how to do that. Please reach your arms over your head. Take a nice big stretch. Full breath in and longer breath out. Now inhale, please bend into your knees. And exhale, pick up your feet, hands to kneecaps. Please circle your legs away from one another. Draw them in, circle them away, and draw them in. Opposite rotation, please. And then you will pause with your knees wide. Inhale, flex the feet. Exhale, point the toes. Inhale, flex your feet. Exhale, point your toes. Now inhale, please flex your feet, and exhale, happy baby. Ananda Balasana, stacking the ankles on top of the knees. Hands to the outer edges of your feet, ankles, or hamstrings. And let's make this a really happy baby by shifting side to side, lengthening and bending your legs, feeling around. And then you'll pause center, holding this happy baby shape. Full breath in and longer breath out. Full breath in, and when you out breath, please release the left foot to the earth. Inhale right here, and when you exhale, please stack your right ankle on top of the left knee joint. So Rachel, bend your left knee, yes. Lifting the left foot when you inhale, and then interlacing your fingers behind the left hamstring when you exhale. Right hand shifts between the legs, left hand outside of the hamstring. Good. And then shifting side to side just to kind of continue to find a little bit of organic movement, also known as spanda. That's a Rod Stryker thing. And then you'll pause, full breath in, longer breath out. Now I want you to just kind of like have a quick peek at your legs and remember the shape. So you see it, you know it, here it is on your back. And then when you inhale, release your left foot and release the bind, allowing for your arms to extend out wide. Palms are up. And then very mindfully, listen carefully, I'd like for you to cross your right leg all the way over your left, as if you were sitting in a chair cross-legged. Inhale, press the left foot into the earth to lift the hips up to the sky. Exhale, shift your hips over to the right. Releasing, and then pick up your left foot, please. And then finding your twisted root, allowing for your legs to fall to the left side. Finding all that beautiful length on the right side body. You can keep your gaze center or shift your gaze to the right. Full breath in breath out, and this is just for your own, like, as student teaching purposes. Thus far, that's only been 5 minutes, right? It's kind of cool to know that you can just kind of have your warm up be about 10, especially if you're you're going to be doing some pretty intense things. Okay. 5 full cycles of breath is what I would recommend, as you know, in this shape. When you inhale, please unsnuggle the right leg first, followed by the left. Bring the legs back to center, grounding your feet. Readjust your hips to neutral position, aka meaning they shift back to the left side, but neutral, not all the way to the left. Please pick up your feet again, hands to kneecaps. Circle the legs away from one another, draw them in. Circle them away, draw them in. Opposite rotation. And then you'll pause once again. Please find Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Stacking the ankles on top of the knees, hands to the outer edges of your feet, ankles or hamstrings. This time I want you to think about tailbone drawing down, hip points pulling up, activating the lower abdominals, and thinking about your shoulders away from the ears. When you inhale, release the right foot to the earth. When you exhale, stack the left ankle on top of the right knee joint. Picking up the right foot, interlacing your fingers around your right hamstring. The left hand shifts to the inside of the leg, right hand to the out. Shoulders away from the ears. You can find a little bit of movement once again if that felt appropriate for you. And then pausing. When you inhale, please allow for your arms to extend out wide. And when you exhale, release the right foot to the earth. Breathe in, cross the left leg all the way over the right. Breathe out right here. When you inhale, press the right foot into the mat to lift your hips. And when you exhale, shift your hips to the left. Pick up the right foot, and then let your limbs fall to the right side. Full breath in. Long breath out. Full breath in. And longer breath out. neutral. And then please pick up your feet. Final Ananda Balasana, happy baby. Breathing in right here. Breathing out. And then inhale, release. Exhale, draw the knees into the chest. When you inhale, please extend your right arm overhead. And when you exhale, roll to the right. And make your way to a neutral spine tabletop position, facing the mirror, aligning wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and heels in line with the knees. Pressing the shoulder blades away from one another, gently drawing the tailbone down to pull the hip points up. Full breath in. Long breath out. Now inhale, tuck your toes, lift your heart, your gaze in your seat, finding your dog tilt. And then exhale, jump rope your spine. So finding that flexion, extension, just moving around. Opposite rotation. Good. Move your hips too, don't just move the upper body. Good. There you go. Yep. Okay. And then pause around the spine. And then please find yourselves in an active extended child's, untucking your toes, shifting your hips back towards your heels, spreading all 10 fingers wide, pressing into the pointer finger and the thumb, working with external rotation. The forehead hovers, and as much as you're drawing the arms forward, can you energetically draw the shoulders down the back? When you inhale, please round your body forward and up. And when you exhale, tuck your toes, lift your heart, your gaze in your seat. Inhale, let the heart lead the way, shift forward with the heart center. Exhale, cat bow, full or half, whatever you feel like. Inhale, lengthen your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Checking in, downward facing dog is an upside down V. You're pressing into the pointer finger and the thumb, working with that external rotation of the upper arm bones. Having that understanding that all 10 fingers spread wide, you press into the pointer finger and the thumb to encourage that external rotation. There's a slight bend of your knees to eliminate any hyperextension in the lower back, drawing the hip points towards lower ribs. Inhale, please gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop your feet to your hands. Half forward fold. Long arms, spine, and legs. Beautiful. Fold forward, please. And then everyone find your blocks. So this way it's going to be on camera, all the things we've been working through, plus. Okay. And then lengthen your arms, your spine, your legs. Once again, aligning the blocks underneath the shoulders. And then bring them hips width distance or wider. Good. When you breathe in, please lift your right leg up. Flex your foot, draw your big toe in. You can look slightly ahead of you. Try not to look at your foot. Good. Breathe in. And when you out breath, release the right foot all the way back behind you. Slide your blocks back for low runner's lunge. Full breath in right here, low runner's lunge. Long breath out. We're going to move right into lizard. So when you find lizard, please release your back knee. I would like for you to keep your hands connected to the blocks. Bring your left hand to the inside of the left foot. Lift your back knee enough that you feel like you're creating a little bit more space in your hip flexor. Beautiful. Thinking about grounding your hands to the blocks to draw your shoulders away from your ears. Now, you can keep your blocks right here. You can drop them one height. Yes. And then just kind of check in with how your hips feel. Breathing in, breathing out. Full breath in. Long breath out. Now when you inhale, you will lose the blocks. And when you exhale, tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Breathing in, exhale, plank pose. Tailbone down, hip points up. Shoulders away from the ears. From the pit of the abdomen, please lift your hips straight up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float your feet to your hands. Half forward fold, find the blocks. Exhale, stay long in the spine. Shoulder, heads, and wrists on the same line. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, please lift your left leg. And then exhale, stay right here. Drawing the big toe in, full breath in. And when you out breath, step your left foot all the way back behind you. Low runner's lunge, nice. Thinking about internal rotation of that back inner thigh. Nice long spines. Breathing in. And when you out breath, please release your left knee to the earth. And then you will bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot with the blocks. Kind of check in with the spacing. Beautiful. Yep. So you can find creative expression at any point during your teaching. And so like turning your foot out, finding that winged lizard, those are all options for your practice. Okay. Breathing in, breathing out. When you inhale, please lose the blocks. Exhale, find your full lizard shape. Inhale, back knee lifts. Exhale, plank. Full breath in and plank. Long breath out and plank. Now inhale for fun, release your knees. Look forward, body weight shifts forward. Exhale, modify chaturanga. Bend your elbows. Nice. Inhale, straighten your arms. Downward facing dog. Breathing in, gaze forward. Breathing out, hop, step, or float your feet to your hands. Now inhale, half forward fold traditional. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, find that angel wing shape, bending your elbows, thinking about your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, folding forward. Now inhale, sweep your arms out wide, gaze forward, pause. Flip your palms up and rise all the way up. Reaching for the sky and then drawing that energy back to your heart center, finding your mountain pose. Full breath in, longer breath out. Full breath in. Long breath out. When you inhale, place your hands to your hips, please. Now, I want you to step halfway back and turn your foot about 45 degrees roughly. We're gonna set up for pyramid. So we're gonna step, sure, left foot, sorry. No, do it, left foot's perfect. Straighten your front leg, please. Now square your hips up to the front of the room, thinking about tailbone down, hip points up. When you inhale, please extend your arms out wide. Okay, when you exhale, we're gonna work with Garudasana arms. So you're gonna sweep your right arm underneath your left, right arm crease underneath left elbow, hooking the right fingers to the left palm. And then thinking about how does this feel? Can you split your vision, eagle-like vision in the mirror? Looking past yourself into your soul. And then thinking about continuing to square your hips forward. That means your right hip has to shift to the left. Yes, that's correct. Good. Now when you inhale, lift your arms, lift your gaze. Lift your arms, lift your gaze. Exhale, return to neutral position, which means gaze is forward. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your gaze. Exhale, neutral position. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale, neutral position. Inhale, please sweep your arms out and up overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart. Hands to hips. Pivot high onto the left ball down. Step your left foot to meet your right. Good. Shake it out a little bit. Move around a little bit. Here you go. Nice. Now, placing your hands back to your hips. Mountain pose. So outer edges of your feet parallel to the outer edges of your mat. Just staying aware of your legs, the torso, the crown of the head. Then you will pick up your right foot. Step your right foot back. Step it back halfway, 45 degrees, keeping the legs in their lane. Hips level, tailbone down, hip points up, front leg is straight. Good. Very nice. So don't be afraid to step your right foot out to the right more. So never, if you're having a hard time squaring your hips, just widen your stance, meaning like step your feet out wider away from midline. I think both of you would serve to do it one more time. To the right. Yes. Okay, feel that freedom? Good. Very good. Okay, when you inhale, sweep your arms out. When you exhale, Garudasana, once again, the eagle shape. This time left is underneath the right, allowing for the left fingers to hook to the right palm. So I'm going to give you the cues again to have them verbal, but when you extend and you bring the left elbow, inner elbow, you could say, underneath the right elbow. So that's, and then a couple more nuances to this shape. We want shoulders level in the mirror. We want to think about, if that can't happen, perfect. Beautiful modification right there. So keeping everything you can you can even do this, separate to keep your fingers up to the sky. Okay? Full breath in, lifting, and when you hold, just lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, lift again. Exhale, neutral. One more inhale, lift. Exhale. Now inhale, release, reaching your arms out. Let the arms shift up. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, hands on hips. Exhale, you can pivot high, please, on the right ball mound to spin the heel up exhale, step your foot forward. So even that transition of you stepping your foot forward, having the foot grounded to pivoting, is just a little bit safer for your hip as opposed to just stepping it forward. Because it's kind of like at an angle, with this arm at an angle. Your hips are supposed to be straight, and they are, but like your foot is at an angle. So just kind of, it's just like those little pieces to get you from point A to point B. This is the travel time. So, right here, we are going to find ourselves in tree. So you will keep your feet rooted to the earth for now. Just have a moment on what it feels like to stand on both feet. And when you breathe in, reestablish your mountain pose shape, checking in that the four corners of the feet are rooted to the earth, the toes are soft. Slight bend of your knees to draw the tailbone down, to pull the hip points up, to activate the lower abdominals, and then re-lengthen your legs. And when you do, let's add a little bit more muscular control, allowing for the glutes to engage and the quadriceps to activate. Your shoulders are away from your ears. And as always, we know that the tailbone draws down to pull the hip points up. And the breath is flowing. Crown of the head is in line with the tailbone. Bring attention to your right foot. And when you inhale, bend into your right knee. Lift the foot up and interlace your fingers around your right shin. Good. Since we've got this on vid already, we're just gonna do your favorite tree. So you can go right into whatever variation of tree you prefer. Hands at heart, lengthening the arms next to you. Beautiful. Nice. Breathe in. You can grow your branches if you want, or stay aware that the inner left thigh presses into the foot. That's probably the most important cue for getting people to balance. Now, hands at hips, please. Allow for your foot to release to the physical body, and I want you to keep the knee bent and let the sole of the foot face behind you. Oh, hello. Here it is. Now we're going to move right into King Dancer. When you breathe in, find your right arm, and I want you to let your palm face up and just sweep it back like a goddess. You are a goddess, yes. And then you're going to bend so deep into your right knee that you can find the instep of your right foot. Now with your left arm, you're going to sweep your arm forward. The palm is facing up like you're serving. And then when you exhale, you allow for the leg to kick back as the torso shifts forward. Leg back, torso forward. Breathing in, breathing out. Full breath in. Longer breath out. Now inhale, come back to the earth, allowing for the feet to connect. So you want to challenge your people, you haven't did 2 balance poses in one round. That's right there. That's worked, right?
Yeah.
Feel it? How are we doing? Okay? Okay. Now please reestablish your mountain pose. And you'll go through the cueing again. And then right here, please bring attention to your left foot, lifting the left foot off of the earth, bending the knee, and interlacing your fingers around the shin. Full breath in. And when you out breath, finding your favorite variation of tree. I would like for you to do what you do on one side and the other. We just want to keep our hips healthy and level, even though we know that's not always a reality. Beautiful. Any expression that feels important and appropriate, please work it out. Mm-hmm. And if you do want to find windy trees, sway side to side. Yep. Beautiful. Okay, placing your hands to your hip. Bringing the left knee forward. So you bring it forward first, and then you bring the foot behind you. Yes. See? Yes, yes, yes. Find your left hand, reach your left arm out, and sweep it back, finding the instep of your left foot. Your right palm faces up, your right arm straightens and shifts forward as you kick up and back, leaning forward, kicking up and back. Yep, breathing in, beautiful, breathing out. If you fall out, you just go right back into it. Beautiful. Feet to earth. Place your hands to your hips. Slight bend of your knees, and I do want you to like circle your hips. Okay, so that's been 30 minutes. Cool. This is starting to get really clean. It used to be kind of like hot in here with the sunshine. Okay, so here we are. Now, when you practice eagle, I want you to think about your knees bending, your tailbone drawing down, and your hip points pulling up. And then when you inhale, you're gonna lift your right foot. So here, this is that same action again. And then when you exhale, you're gonna cross. Now, because of my knees and my hips, my foot will only touch my calf. It won't hook around. But maybe yours does, but don't force it. So here's the thing, if you lean forward too far, go back. That might be right here, and this is beautiful. Eventually, or perfect. Okay, now draw your torsos back, everyone. Bring your arms out. Breathe in. And when you out breath, right arm crosses underneath the left, hooking at the elbows, hooking at the wrists. And then I want you to think about breathing in, and I'm going to give you a couple of variations. Breathing in, breathing out, you can do the same thing, or inhale, and then exhale, you can bow, connecting the elbow to the knee. Inhale, come up. Good. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Shake it out. Move around. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up. Good work. Come on. Yep. Questions about one side? To be lotus, it's kind of like one of those things like, and it's not my favorite, but it's a good pose to have in your toolbox. So you'll teach this because you are like, yeah, no, it's fine, you can just hook your foot, it's easy. But just note, some people can't do it. Okay. From here, mountain pose. And then we begin again, allowing for that the knees to slightly bend, tailbone down, hip points up. Then you pick up the left foot, crossing the left over the right.
I can't go as far on this
I
side.
know, yeah. That looks pretty good. Just make sure that whatever you do, your torso stays stacking on top of your hips. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, left underneath the right. Breathing in, lifting. Breathing out. You can bow. Inhale, come on up. Exhale. Release. Now, another variation that you can do is you can inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So moving with your breath. This is kind of nice. And then it makes it less scary when you're like balancing for like 5 breath cycles, right? So that might feel better just to kind of do it. That's it. Exhale. Keep exhaling. Yeah. See, you don't think about it too much. So there's that other avenue of working with breath with movement. Also, FYI, I finally brought the glass cleaner and the what's it called? The coffee filters. They're at my house. They'll make it your airplane ready. Okay, so that is Garudasana. Now, technicalities, we know that roughly we want our hips level, right? We also know that the shoulders, one is going to hike up. We just have to just ensure that we're just not leaning into flexibility, but this is a flexi pose. Like, obviously, as you saw, you need to have really open outer hips to do this because your IT bands are tight and you won't be able to hook the foot. But we're not impressed or depressed about that. So, right, we don't really care because we know that we can balance and we have the arm shape. So yeah, so that box, it's checked. Like it's nothing, we could really like dissect it, but I think that don't forget to start with in like a slight awkward Utkatasana, like an awkward chair. So that way that this leg is already remembering what it has to do because you're like the Karate Kid kicking, right? So something cool that you could do from there is also go right in. You can also go into a handstand. You can also go back to, you could do Warrior One. So in Warrior One, I do actually like to teach Garudasana arms and work with Warrior Three. From Warrior Three, you can come up and cross. Go back. Here. So you could even do that a couple of times, you know? So there's like little snappy things you do on the fly. See? So there's things that you can always do to progress or sustain. But we're always progressing. As you hold, you're still progressing when you're holding. But you know, if you want to add some movement to that. Cool? Like, what do you think about that? Questions about that? Keep moving.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So here's what I'd like for you to do now. I would like for you to make your way.
I turned that one off.
Thank you. Hot. Okay. Flying pigeon. We are going to talk about it. So you've been warmed up. So now you could kind of see at the beginning of class, we did the reclined pigeon. We did the twisted root to prepare your legs for the Garudasana eagle. Okay? Now we're going to work the same philosophies, but I want to see your standing figure 4. Okay? So let me say this. For my body, I have to do this with my feet hips width distance, like bringing them to outer hips width distance. It just gives me a little bit more stability. So if you're, sometimes I feel like for women especially, if our hips are a little bit wider, for me, my hips are a little bit wider, that when I have my foot too close to midline, I can't balance correctly. So I give myself more space when I'm balancing. Okay, please lift your right, no, don't do what I just said. Okay. Bend your knees, please find Utkatasana. Bend into the knees, you can think about your hips slightly back, your tailbone still draws down, your hip points pull up. And then I'd like for you to bring your hands to your hips. Please pick up your right foot and just let it hover for a moment. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to bend your knee a little bit more. You're going to stack your right ankle on top of your left knee joint. Mm-hmm. And you're going to keep shifting your hips back. So think about hinging. Yes. Bend your left knee. Hinging, bending the knee. Hands at heart. Keep your gaze forward. This is a balance. This is challenging. You can stay here. Stay here. Stay here. If you would like to go further, you can connect your hands to the earth.
Oh, I need the blocks.
Okay, if you would like to go further, you can place the top of your right foot to your left tricep. Now flex your right foot as much as you possibly can. I think you guys serve with blocks too. Yeah.
Oh, my right hip is so
I know it's gonna go.
Oh.
It's gonna talk to you. Good. Now I want you to think about letting your heart shift forward and your arms bend. That's right. And then here you are. Now with all of this action happening, your right foot flexing, you're shifting forward. I know, you gotta breathe. I know. And then your elbows bend for crow, like the crow shape, to set you up for the pigeon that flies.
Oh my God.
There it is. Good. Okay, shake it out. Let it go. This is like level 2 yoga asana level 2. Whereas I consider level 2 meditation. So, but you guys are all multi-level yoga teachers, right?
Right.
Okay. So you saw how we could quickly progress from a balance to an arm balance. All right, we're gonna do it again on the other side, because what we do on one side we have to do on the other. Okay, please find your awkward chair, Utkatasana. Nice, I like both of your extensions. This is good for your lower backs, beautiful. Okay, please pick up your, I'm gonna challenge you to bring your feet out wider. Yes, okay, now pick up your left foot, please. Flex your foot. So automatically, it's like you're gonna high kick somebody. Okay, yeah. Then stack, please, your left ankle on top of your right knee joint. And Marisol, I love that your nails match my blocks. Look at us telepathically connecting. Okay, now hips back. Bend the knee, bend the knee, bend the knee, bend the knee. You can place hands at heart. You can rest your arms on the leg, or you find your blocks again. 9 times out of 10, I teach this with blocks. And then you let your shin rest on the tricep. You flex, flex, flex through the left foot. So almost as if you're gonna wrap the foot around the arm. That's right. And then you let your body weight shift forward, hugging your elbows in. Very nice, very nice. Hug your elbows in tighter. Good.
Oh man, that's a great place to work.
Yeah, good. Don't overdo it. There it is.
Yes.
Nice. Keep your gaze forward. Don't move your foot. It will lengthen on its own. So if you think about pressing this foot so much that like it's gonna feel like your right leg is gonna be able to release back. Yeah, that was good. Felt it?
Ooh,
Yeah. Okay.
It's good.
Why not just go right into crow from here so you knock this out and then we can move on, because that will give me space to teach you guys some fun things. So we're gonna keep those blocks. Sorry. Okay, so I want your blocks right underneath your hands, right as they were. Okay, so we're going to talk about this in a second, because for some people, Crow works really well when they bring their big toes to touch and their heels out and their knees kind of splay out. Yes. For some people it does not work well. So we're going to touch on both. I think it's beautiful to work with arm balances with blocks, again, because, well, that's always how I have found success in arm balances, by bringing the earth up to my hands. When you work with crow, it's the same arm shape that you just found. So technically, you would probably want to have your people find crow first before flying pigeon, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's okay, you know what I mean? Because it's like a totally different, but also the same. When you work with this, you'll move back into a forward fold, please, and find your somewhat of a half forward fold. And then please bring your big toes in. Okay. And then ground your feet. And ground your hands. You will now lift your heels. Bend your knees. And then place your knees into your triceps. Yes. Beautiful. This is enough. Or
This feels awkward as hell.
you're actually in the full pose. Like, it looks like you could totally go right into it. So from here, you tilt, 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 like you're doing a chaturanga forward. You can also, so you could probably bring your blocks a little bit forward, but go right into that same shape. Your hips are up. Now, sometimes I'll see people place their knees to the outsides of their legs, and that's called crane. Yes.
Outside of there, where?
Yeah. They're like hugging like this.
Oh, okay.
That's not crow.
No, you're on the tricep.
Yes, you are on the tricep. You are connected to the tricep.
Yeah, Marisol.
Marisol. Woo!
Get it?
That's it. Look at that.
Good job, boss.
Good job, Relax. Good job, Marisol.
I'm so used to doing it on the floor. That felt different.
Did it feel?
And then with my pigeon toes, feels very different.
Do you feel more controlled?
I do. I like the
straight arms.
and straight feet.
Okay, keeping your feet wide and keeping
Yeah.
You could do that too.
But I've never done it this way.
It creates more success for new beginners.
Okay.
So, but here's something else. I have also found that if you practice with your feet hips width the distance and connect your knees to your triceps or armpits for Rachel, most people can get
Sorry.
No, it's great.
my
No, not at all. That's great. Because what happens eventually, you can straighten your arms, especially if you have them up so high. That's a different variation that is really challenging. Like Kyle could probably do that in you, but
He's very
strong.
He is very strong.
So you could do it that way. You didn't do anything wrong. That was great. So those are also like just little things that you can do for people and for yourself and in your practice. And you can go to chaturanga. All that is living on prayer, because again, those things, there's certain things like we want to be able to break down and teach you what we can, that it requires faith, right? Okay, so we're going to shift the gears a little bit. Do you want to do it again?
Without blocks.
With or without blocks? Yeah, it's really up to you. Good. So I want you to challenge you to keep your fingertips on the yoga mat the whole time. Grip, grip, grip. Nice. Pretty. Good. I mean,
That was so good.
you have gained so much of that shoulder
I
strength
have.
back.
Yes.
Because
yes,
I
it
know
is.
you've been not doing that.
No, I have not. I think after the day you taught us, what's it called? Back bend
Yeah.
on the wall
Yes.
where I didn't go up,
Yes.
but I felt strong enough to go up, then like something just clicked.
They
So,
said it's
that was
time you
nice.
can return.
Yes.
I love that. I want to get those heart openers on the wall. I want to get that in this video.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think if there's like any. I also want to get some belly back bends, also pronated and supine and pronated. But we might do those on Wednesday, and so that way we can like really focus on that. But right now, because we have like this isn't a well-rounded class, right? We've done a lot of things.
class.
Let me tell you where we are in time. I'm looking just so you guys know. Okay, 51 minutes. So basically at this point, if it were just regular class, you would just take your students, like you do like a little twist, hug your knees in. You could, I would, after all that arm work, I would do a bridge and just say, hey, we're gonna go over a couple of minutes, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes if you have to go. Just don't worry, just leave after we do the heart opener because you want to feel balanced. So actually is okay. Sorry, I have like 16 thoughts in my brain. I want you to go to the wall. This wall is fine. And I promise I'll teach you that the next level of the pigeon, the king pigeon. My eyes look insane. Okay, please place your blocks. I want you to use your blocks. There we go. I might actually just do this. Wait. How do I turn this around?
At the bottom right, I think.
Keep going.